she's standing right next to me. Her name is Dr. Lisa. And you know, one of the things which I always find is, as business owners, as professionals, we're always trying to find out how to differentiate ourselves. But it's one thing to differentiate, but it's totally other thing to differentiate, also be better. You know, a lot of people differentiate their business, but it kind of doesn't make sense. So for example, a few days ago, I saw this commercial on Facebook. There's this person who's doing yoga with beer. And I'm like, okay, it sounds pretty cool, but you know, beats the purpose of yoga. So yeah, that business is different, but I don't know how, you know, what will happen. But anyways, speaking of differentiation, the fact that Dr. Lisa is part of the group is also because the way she communicates with people, with you know, how she explains everything, it's not only different, it's also better. So with this, I'll just zip it and ask Dr. Lisa to take the stage. Please,
Thank you, Samir.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Lisa. Let's
you.
give her a big hand.
Thanks, everybody. So I want to tell you first about this group. For those of you who have not been, who are here for the first time, I just want to tell you about Samir. Samir is somebody who really is different. He's a guy who is very intuitive about everybody's different businesses, and he cares so very much about my business, and I'm sure he does about everybody else's. So I really love being a member of this group, and at first it was a little bit hard, but now that it's getting bigger, and you know, I feel like I only see these people once a month, but I feel like I'm making friends, and I really like that. It's a very special group. So as he said, it's the coolest thing in Maryland, so I can go along with that, except for my office. So it's as cool as my office. So I want to ask you a question first of all. How many of you believe that we are meant to be healthy? Just for a raise of hands. Okay, very good. So most of you believe that we are meant to be healthy. Well, I'm going to tell you a little story about a little girl who in 3rd grade had her teacher ask a few days before Christmas vacation started whether, actually could we close that door? I'm getting a little bit distracted by that, thank you. A few days before Christmas vacation, had run out of the curriculum, had finished the curriculum, and the teacher said to the class, just put your questions in this little box and we'll cover as many of these questions as we can. So that little girl put in the box in 3rd grade, how does the human body work? So Mrs. Kim said, that's going to take a little longer than a couple of days. And we kind of want to get to some of the other questions. So my question, I was the 3rd grader obviously, was put aside, and I have spent the past over 50 years figuring out and learning about how the human body works. My career took me into chiropractic care after I fell down a flight of stairs. I was raised in the medical model of healthcare. My mother, my father, we never knew anything about anything that we call alternative these days, although my opinion is that the alternative really should be the mainstream because we're the ones keeping people healthy. And thank God for the medical doctors when we need them, when we do need drugs or surgeries. You know, we do need them in an acute care situation or something like that. But it is the more alternative, or the people who are working with actual health, keeping people healthy, getting people healthy without drugs or surgery, who really ought to be the mainstream, because as you all agreed, our bodies are meant to be healthy. And so if we provide the correct environment for our bodies to be healthy, they'll heal well, they'll get over that cold, they might not even get that cold, they're going to be less likely to get grave illnesses and so on. So I appreciate the fact that you all really agree with that. And my journey then, after I fell down a flight of stairs, took me into chiropractic. After 3 months of being in pretty severe pain, I took the advice of a friend who told me to go to her chiropractor, and I went. It actually took, I was pretty badly injured, and it took her about 3 months, even at my age of 19 at that time, to really get me better. Well, so eventually I decided this was the career path that I wanted to take. And when I got into chiropractic as a doctor of chiropractic, I became pretty good at adjusting people, and over the years, I've been doing that for 31 years, I became good at what I do. And my frustration, however, was that people would come in eventually, they'd get quite a bit better, but eventually they'd come to the point where they needed to have their adjustment, and then they were ready to, they would go out, they would feel great after their chiropractic adjustment, and then their health would go down again, and they couldn't wait until their adjustment again. And so they were living in a state of dysfunction is how I saw it. They never really got as well as they could get. And so I was looking for other options and how I could help people even more. And so I found, I've just been trained in thousands and thousands of hours of various techniques. And the things that I do in my office now, just to list them off, and then I'm going to go into a demonstration of something that I do that's really interesting in terms of really functional medicine and how bodies function is how I'm going to call it. And I don't even really like using the word medicine, because medicine is compressing and suppressing symptoms. Drugs and surgery really suppress symptoms instead of finding the underlying cause. And what I'm interested in doing is finding the underlying cause of why something has gone wrong, instead of just suppressing that symptom. So a lot of people do get frustrated from going from doctor to doctor. The underlying cause is not being addressed. So the techniques that I use in my office, and I'll just tell you the names of them, and then I'm going to go into one of them, but you might find it interesting, some of the other things I do. One is called Advanced Allergy Therapeutics. So when people have allergies and they want to have a very efficient and effective technique that's non-invasive, they can get what's called Advanced Allergy Therapeutics with me. That does not involve any supplements or anything like that, or any adjustments. It's another way, and if you're interested in how I treat allergies, then just let me know, and I can let you know more about that. The other thing is a cranial technique called neurocranial integration, where I actually get right into the nervous system, even more deeply than with chiropractic care, and the people who are kind of in fight or flight all the time can actually settle. And I see this right on my table, which is just an astoundingly beautiful thing to see for people, because we really are living, a lot of us, in fight or flight. The thing that I want to talk about today is called nutrition response testing. When people are living in that state of dysfunction, there's a reason. It used to be that chiropractors could adjust a person, and then the person would hold their adjustment, and then they could get better, and chiropractors used to be the kind of country doctors, and they would sit with people overnight with any number of diseases that occurred, and they would help their immune system with the adjustments, with the chiropractic adjustments, and which means that we're addressing the basis of the nervous system by way of the joints of the spine primarily, and also the other joints of the body. So if we can increase the function of the nervous system, then of course we can increase the function and improve the function of the rest of the body. So the immune system gets better, the digestive system gets better, the hormonal system gets better, if the nervous system is at its optimum. Well, because of various stressors that we have in our life, that 100 years ago when chiropractic started, it didn't exist. We just are not holding our adjustments. People have to go to the chiropractor. Maybe some of you have had the experience of going to the chiropractor, and the chiropractor tells you, well, in order to get you better, I have to see you 30 times. Well, how come you have to see me 30 times? It's not because there's something wrong with chiropractic. It's because you're exposed to so many stressors in your lifestyle. Chemicals that we're exposed to that never happened before. Metals in our environment. There's all sorts of stuff in our water. We're exposed to so much. And primarily, it's the foods that we eat that just are not of the quality that they used to be. Our bodies are meant to have good nutrition so that they can function well. And if they have that nutrition, then we can heal. And our bodies are meant to have the vitamins, the minerals, the enzymes, the coenzymes, all these different factors that they need to heal. So my job now is to figure out which of those or other stressors in a person's body are causing a problem. So I'm going to detour just a minute here because the way I figure that out is by muscle testing. And a lot of people think this is just crazy. How can you push on somebody's arm and find out something about their thyroid? How can you do that? Well, I can. I know it works. I get it. It's not a problem for me. But for those of you who are really just used to getting your arm stuck and getting blood drawn and getting x-rays taken, well, it's going to be a little strange for you. So I'm going to do a little demonstration here. Are you trying to tell me I've already talked for 17 minutes?
No, just 10.
Okay, 10. Okay, good. So I want a couple of people to come up here and Ed and Nargis, come here. Come, please.
Oh, me?
Yes, you. Come.
Yeah, exactly. Tell him he's coming.
I called on a lot of other people.
And I'm not a paid endorser.
No, I just called on them. I called on other people, but they're too far in there. Okay, so put your stuff away. I need you to touch something. All right, I want you to touch this. And I want you to touch this. And I want you now to hold each other's hands for a second. Okay.
Whoa.
Now let go. Let go.
Of hands. Yeah.
And now touch again. Okay?
Oh
So what this demonstrates, thank you very much. What this demonstrates,
Great job.
So cool. So what this demonstrates is that we have electrical energy in our bodies. Okay, so we don't end right here, but we have electrical energy. And another piece that I want to tell you about is that when you stand in front of a window, you feel the warmth of the sun, yeah? Yeah? So you feel the warmth of the sun. Are you touching the sun? You're not touching the sun, but you're feeling the energy of the sun. So can I get general agreement here that energy exists in the world? Yes. That molecules have movement and that they interact with each other. Okay? So that's what we are going to work on today, and I'm going to show you a demonstration of muscle testing and how I find out what's going on in a body. I wish I had 2 hours to talk to you, so this seems a little choppy. I'm going to tell you at the end how you can learn more if I can help you. Okay, so Shell, if you could stand up for me, okay. I'm just going to show you here, if you'll stand over here, and I'm going to show you how muscle testing works, okay? So I'm just going to push down on Michelle's arm. So match my pressure, push up. I cannot push her arm down no matter how does everybody believe me that that's a strong muscle? Okay. So face me a little bit, but I want you guys over there. Can you guys see? Okay. So now I'm going to find out something about Michelle.
Don't judge me.
All right, can you guys see me? Is this
Yeah.
good? All right, so it's good that you're taller than I am. So what I want to know is which parts of her bodies may be stressed. I've spoken a little bit with Michelle. I know a little bit about her health history, but not that much. So what I want to know is things like, is her front brain okay? Here, let's use this arm so they can see. Push up. Okay, so front brain, push up. Front brain is okay, nothing happens, yeah? Okay, what about her sinuses? Push up, no big deal. Nothing that makes that go down. Let's see about this gland in her head called the pituitary gland. Push up. She cannot hold her arm up. This is not faking. Push up. She cannot hold her arm up. Push up. That's a push up, push up. Don't think, just push. Okay, push up. She can't hold it. Okay? Now if I touch her here, or her tonsils are or would have been, push. Push up, push up. Good. That's good. All right? You don't think, just push. Okay, now this is her thyroid. Push up. She can't hold it. Just push as hard as you can. She can't. Okay? So now what I want to know is which ones of those, and then I go through the entire body to find out what's going on in her whole body. And then what I do is I go grab some supplements to see which ones of these are needed. I can find out which of her organs is the primary organ that needs to be handled first, so that I don't just have to throw a bunch of supplements. Oh, here's something for your thyroid, and here's something for your pituitary, and here's something for your gallbladder, and here's something for your heart. That's like, you know, what's it called when you, buckshot, right? It's like, and the body doesn't know what to do about it. So we need to find out which one is the priority for her, and there's a way to do that, and I'm going to find that out. Just put your finger right there like that, and push up. So I want to know, is it her pituitary or is it her thyroid that needs to be handled first? Push up, and it's actually her pituitary. Even though if we were to speak with Michelle, we might learn things that might lead us toward thyroid first. So come on, just come on over here for a second. Because I've got all these supplements, and so now we know that there's resonance in the body. Yeah, we've agreed that molecules move, remember? And so what I want to know is which one of these supplements is going to help her, and I can put it right up against her. So hold this one up against you and put your arm out in the air, and I'm going to touch her thyroid point, her pituitary point, push up. That one doesn't do anything for her. Okay? It doesn't. Now, I don't know if any of the things that I happen to bring will, but hopefully they will. Okay. Push up. There's one. There's one that helps her. Okay, so I developed a program that's going to help her. What is that? Sorry.
Give me that.
Sometimes people actually feel better when they hold them. It's very interesting. I have a patient who trembles and tremors a lot, and I think it was a magnesium supplement on her the other day, and it just stopped immediately. It's just really interesting what happens when the body gets what it needs.
That's amazing.
So yeah, so thank you very much for being my demonstration. Actually, I might do one more thing here. I brought some really bad vitamins, but so stand up again. I just want to show you what happens when I put a good vitamin. So this is a multiple vitamin. That's a whole food good vitamin. Let's see if her body likes that. Push up. Yeah, so her body likes that. Let's see if her thyroid likes it. Push up. Yeah, let's see if this pituitary likes it. Push up. Yeah, so her body likes that. That's a good multiple vitamin for her. Let's see what happens when we give push up.
One a days.
Like it's so weak, I can't even tell you how weak she is. Let's see what happens. Push here, it's so weak. Don't take this. This is what people give their children. Push up. Worse. It's so bad. It's like pure sugar. Push up, and sugar inflames everything. So don't take that and don't feed it to your children. Get something whole food for whole food. So thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so I think I'm out of time. I had a bunch of other things I was going to talk about, but I want to let you know that thank you so much for coming. This is a really good group, and I think some of you came because you were interested in the topic, and I really do deeply appreciate this. The idea here is that the title of the talk was, are you running from doctor to doctor? There is a better solution. And so the better solution is acknowledging that our bodies can heal themselves if we give them what they need, we find out what's going on underneath the health problems. Our symptoms are actually messengers to us. So what I want to know is, what is that message that the messenger is trying to bring? Not just suppress the symptom, not just make the headache go away, not just make the acid reflux or the hot flashes go away, but find out why is that happening in a person's body. So if you're at all interested, if you're intrigued by what I've had to say, and you're curious about whether I might be able to help you, whether this approach might be able to help you or somebody in your family or some of your friends, we do offer free 15-minute phone consultations so that there's no obligation or anything like that. You just we set up an appointment, and Gabby has the appointment book. She's going to be setting up those appointments if you would like to have that. And the other option is for you to go to our website. And I have to thank Josh for helping me so much with the website. I'll tell you about Josh some other time. He's awesome. He's awesome if you want to automate your business.
And our packets.
The man. And so we have packets of information that have some immune basics, information about healthy lunches. These are things that from some of our health talks. There's a list of people, just general, that we have helped in the past, and really any health issue at all. I'm willing to talk about. If I don't feel like I can help you, which is kind of rare, I will let you know that. And then we've got our list of our health talks that are coming up, that are open to the public. We also have, if anybody is interested in making an appointment, we have some coupons for very discounted first visits for anybody who's new. So Gabby will give you those if you just come on up and talk to her if you're interested. And do I have time for any questions or not really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, sure. If anybody has any questions at all, I'm happy to entertain a couple. Yeah, Robert.
Like, how much do you find that people's diets and what they're eating plays a factor?
100% of the time.
So it's almost always a factor.
Yes. Yes, and that's part of the nutrition response testing program that people do with me. We have lots of conversations about diet. People keep food journals. They bring them into me on a weekly basis, and we go over and gradually change somebody's diet. So some people are good with cold turkey. You know, they're willing to give up something cold turkey, and some people do better with that. Most people who are having donuts for breakfast every morning are not willing to give that up right away, and it takes some time to do that. And some of the people I treat are not starting from that perspective, but it just runs the gamut. Yeah. What about anybody else? Paul?
Related to that, what are like the top 3 kind of causations for that you see that could be a potential source of the people that you see? What I'm trying to say is, like, what are the biggest problems or most common problems that you see?
That's a great question. So I see a lot of women who are having hormonal issues, whether it's thyroid or change of life sorts of things, whether it's PMS for younger women or whether it's menopause, things like that. Those things are not supposed to be difficult. And I know the men in this group, or the people, I should say, the people who are living with women going through those things, probably are trying to help them experience that in a better way, and sometimes it's quite challenging. So it doesn't really, it doesn't have to be difficult. That being difficult means that there's an imbalance in the body that can be handled naturally. Yeah. So that's one. Sometimes people who have foggy brain, ADD, that sort of thing. My next talk is about ADD. What else? A lot of digestive issues. A lot of digestive issues. Acid reflux. I'm just horrified at how many people have been on acid blockers for years and years. It's terribly dangerous, and it makes people very malnourished. So that's a big thing that I have to handle a lot. Yeah, autoimmune issues, chronic pain, on and on. Yeah, so, yep. Anything else? Any other questions? Well, thank you very much. And like I said, if you want to have a consultation with me, Gabby will set you up for that. And just pass the word around that there is another option. If you're baffled by your health, I'll help you unravel the mystery.
Awesome.
Yay!
Awesome.